The Sling has become an EDC staple, and I myself like to carry one too, and that's probably why I've ended up with so many. So here are some of my favourite EDC slings. First up is the cheapest and also probably the most ubiquitous sling on this list, and it's this one. It's the Uniqlo sling bag. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably seen this countless times out in the wild in various materials and multiple colours. This, of course, is the black one, but I also have this, the green one, both in the same material, and they're just really simple EDC sling bags. As far as sling bags go, you can't really get much simpler than this. It has one main zipper compartment and no other external pockets. Inside, there isn't much organisation to speak of. It's just one main compartment of holding and then these two slip pockets, not elasticated, no zips, just pretty basic. It does, however, have a surprising amount of storage for something so affordable. This kind of expands somewhat to allow you to get quite a bit inside the bag, and yeah, you can fit quite a lot in there. This particular bag gets quite a lot of usage in my main rotation. Well, actually this one, the black one, not so much the olive, and that's probably because it's so simple. You can just chuck a few things in there and you're good to go. Being as it's so affordable, it does mean obviously that you can have it in multiple colorways. It has a simple adjustment on the strap, nothing fancy, no magnets or clips or anything. It's just a simple adjustment like that, and you know what, it does its job, and there's a reason why so many people have them, because they're cheap and they're effective. So that's the first one. Next up on the list is this. This is the Moment Fanny Sling, and I believe this is the V2 version, but don't quote me on that, and they may have a few newer versions than since I had this, because I've had this for a number of years now, and it doesn't get as much use as it used to, but it's still really nice. This one's quite a bit more expensive than the last one, but it does have a fair amount more features. You can see that it has a zippered compartment, main zippered compartment here, and that leads to a lot of internal storage, which we'll go into in a minute, but it also has this one here, an external front pocket with some more storage options, and it's got a nice external zippered pocket here as well that would be close to your body when you wear it, and that's kind of stretchy, which I kind of like. So if you're going to use this at an airport, for instance, you can put your passport and your phone there and keep it close to your chest. So we like that one. And it's also got this clip system at the bottom, so if you're using it for its intended purpose, which ultimately is to carry mobile filmmaking gear, you can clamp on, say, like a small tripod or maybe even a gimbal for your phone, and that can cinch up there. You could also use it for a small umbrella, which I have done in the past. So that's all of the external features, and it's also got this kind of nice feature where you can expand on both sides here using these adjusters to make the bag accept more gear, or if you're having a day when you haven't got as much on you, you can obviously pull them tight and cinch it up so it sits more flat to the body. Inside, it's got some really specific pockets, and that's probably why I don't use it as much now, and you don't need to use them for their intended purpose, but ultimately it has a pocket for your phone to go in and a cutout to allow you to leave your Moment lenses attached. So if you've got something like this, one of the Moment lenses, obviously they stick off somewhat from your phone. I haven't got the case for this particular phone, but it will stick off, and so when you put it into the holding area for the phone, there's a place for the lens to sit so that it doesn't need to be removed every time you take it in and out of the bag. So that's quite neat. It's got some additional front pockets here, so you can put things like filters or other knickknacks in there. It comes with a cleaning cloth attached to a lanyard, which is also elasticated so that you can actually clean your lens off before you use it. It's also got some small stretch pockets on the inside here that allow you to hold, again, something like the Moment lens will fit in the side if you've got one there and you don't want it to rattle around. And it's got one of those on both sides, you can see there. And then it's got another microfiber lined pouch here. So again, anything else that you want to keep protected in there, not elasticated, but just another sleeved area so you can split stuff off from the main compartment. All of the phone side pockets are also lined with this really nice kind of lens cleaning microfiber type lining, so pretty much the whole internal of the bag, apart from that main lighter coloured section, is this real nice sort of microfiber material. So it's definitely built to protect your gear. And when you come to the front pocket, it also has that same lining in there, and you'll notice that it's got a couple of Velcro sections here, and that's so that it allows you to insert some lens separators for your Moment lenses so that you can separate them in the front of the bag. The back pocket, as I mentioned before, is stretchy, so it will accept some bulkier stuff if you want to, but ultimately it's a nice flat pocket which I think is best used for like a notebook or passport or something like that. And when you close it, the zip actually tucks away, so it's not going to dig into your body when you have it close to your chest. Other adjustments on the bag, it features a big standard like plastic clip, an adjuster at the clip end, and also an adjuster at the other end, so you should be able to get it exactly how you want it. That's pretty much it. This is available also in a bunch of colours, and I think the V1 and I think there might be a V3 have slightly different configurations. They've updated and changed some of the internals. You can get it in a ripstop nylon, I believe, and also a waterproof version. So there are plenty of options on the Moment, but this one is a little bit more expensive than, say, the Uniqlo version. Next up is this bag. This is the Lowe Pro M Tracker HP 120, and I've actually made a dedicated video to this way back on the channel, so I will link it up here if you want to go and look at that. But this is definitely a more specific type of sling for if you're going to carry camera gear, and it's not going to carry every type of camera gear in terms of size. You know, you're probably not going to get your full frame mirrorless in here, certainly not with the lens attached, but you can get some pretty big cameras in here. I've had my GH5 in here, for instance, and obviously something like what I'm shooting on now, the X100V, is going to fit in here lovely. This is one of my favourite sling bags when it comes to carrying cameras, because that's what it's designed for. Starting on the outside, at the back, it's got a long zip pocket, again one of those flat pockets useful for things like passport or your phone. Nicely padded, really nice thick padding in there, and a nice big pocket. Then round the front, it's got one of my favourite features of all of the sling bags, which is this G-hook. It's like G-hook clasp, which allows you to tighten it, cinch it down, and it stops people being able to sort of get into the bag easily. You know, if you're on a train or something, it makes it difficult for them to get into, and it's a nice functioning closing mechanism. Once you open that up, then you're greeted with this front pocket here, another zip pocket, and in here you've got a lanyard attachment, so you can put your keys on there and you're going to know where they are, as well as a couple of extra dividers within that pocket, so you know, things like filters maybe for your camera, or there's a long pocket there again plenty of space in there. Then you've got a zip which has two zippers on it that allows you to get into the main compartment of holding, and this is where it gets really camera specific because it's got all of the dividers like you would have in any other camera bag, so you can arrange them as you see fit. Obviously really nicely padded, and if I take this one out in particular, it's also got a little handy dandy pocket for your SD cards or anything else that you might want to protect within the central compartment. And you know, you've got a couple of dividers there, so you can configure it in such a way that you can keep maybe the camera body and a couple of lenses, assuming that it's quite a small kit. Like I say, this isn't a massive camera bag, but if you want to have something a bit more low profile for your camera stuff but keep it well protected, then this is really good. It's available in two colours. This is the charcoal. They also do a black. I've had both and preferred the charcoal, but if you want to go all black you can. I believe the black one is Cordura fabric and this one is Canvex fabric, but similarly durable to each other. And the other handy thing is it's got a nice handle on the top, so if you want to hand carry it by the handle there, you can do so, but obviously it also comes with a strap. This has a single adjuster on it for size and a clip at one end. Plastic clip similar to the Moment one, but at one end. If you've got some spare strap, it also has a piece of elastic to stop it flapping. It's also got a tiny hook on the back, so if you have something like a hero clip like I carry around, you can hang it up on the back of a door or back of your chair or something if you go into a restaurant. But yeah, I really like that G-hook to cinch down the flap that covers the zips. Just gives you a little bit more protection from, you know, people that might want to get inside the bag. So that's the Lowe Pro. Next up is something slightly more high-end, and that is this. This is the Grams 28 Sling, and this was actually sent to me along with another sling bag that I'll show you in a second by the company, but this video is not sponsored. But I'm really pleased that they sent it to me because I've actually used this a ton since I got it. I recently went to Greece on a trip. If you want some proof, it's here. And I used this virtually every day on that trip because I just really liked the size and the quality of it. So this is a premium grain leather sling bag, but it also, interestingly, has got like an aqua guard zip on it. It's got one main compartment on this particular one. You open that up, it's got two zips, so you can go from either side, and inside it's got some real nice organisation. So inside is lined with a kind of, it's not soft, but it will keep your stuff protected. I found it quite nice. It's not fully microfiber like the Moment one, but it's pretty nice. Inside there you've got a main compartment there, so that's good for your phone, something like that. And you've got the central part, which is quite spacious, which is where I generally kept my camera. Then there's a nice internal zippered pocket, so if you want to keep some separate stuff in there you can do, and that stops it bashing into whatever's in the main compartment. So I kept coins and things like that in there, stopped it going hitting the camera. And then you've got these two kind of stretchy compartments that allow you to put some other bits and pieces there. There's also a pen loop there, which is kind of handy to keep a pen. And then what I found was these parts on the side, they're just kind of the gusseted section, I think you would call that, to stop the bag flopping open. But when you've got it just half open, you can actually use those as additional pockets. So I kept things slipped in there, and when I had it, you know, around my chest, I could open it fine that far and still use those as additional pockets. So I found those really handy. There's no additional pockets on the back or on the front, so it's kind of nice low profile bag, but it's got the attachments for the shoulder strap on the back coming off some D-rings with some really nice high quality heavy duty connectors which you can take on or off. So if you wanted to take this off, this strap off for instance, and just use it as a kind of like a carry organizer, or use it as like a tech pouch or something like that, you can. Then you want to add these later to stick it over your shoulder. Really nice. And then it's got one adjuster. All of this is metal, I believe. These definitely are, I'm not too sure. Yep, I think all of this is metal construction, and yeah, I was really impressed with that, and I think it's really going to patina nicely over time. I'm a big fan of full grain leather. You can see I have a full grain leather black case for my phone, and it actually goes really nicely with that bag, so super pleased with that one. Which leads me on to the next one. They also come in these really nice like dust covers, which is this one. This is a bigger version of the one I just showed you, and it's got the same attachments on the back for the shoulder strap. This one's got an integrated handle, so again, if you wanted to carry it just as a kind of standalone item, you can do, and it's got one on the side as well, so you can go both ways. You can hold it on the side and on the top, so that's kind of cool. But when you're not using the handles, they blend in quite nicely on the end there. Inside, it's got some super nice organization, way more than in the smaller version, but you'd expect it because it's quite significantly bigger. See, if I put the two side by side, you can easily fit this one inside this one, which you could do if you wanted to use this one as a tech pouch and this one as the overall bag. You can do, but this one's got quite a lot of additional storage. So you've got the two, which way around? You've got the two stretch pockets here, but they are of course bigger, and you've got the pen loop. On the other side, you've got the same style pockets, but you've got three of them. And then you've got the same center divider there with the internal zip, but inside that's also got some additional separators, so you can slide some things in there and there. And then you've also got another divider there, so just to keep things separate in the main bag of holding, and then of course you've got space either side of that, so it's pretty nice. I'm not sure that the trick of using the side panels as extra storage will work probably quite as well as it does in the smaller one. But I guess it probably would, but I think you probably need to open this bag a bit wider in order to access all of the other compartments, so it kind of depends what it is. So I haven't had as much chance to use this particular one as the smaller one, but I think having enjoyed using the smaller ones as much as I did, I probably will give this one more use over the coming months. It has the same attachment points for the same shoulder strap as the other one. It has the same AquaGuard type zipper as the smaller one, and I wasn't expecting to need to use that when I was in Greece. Most of the time it was in the low 30 degrees, but there was a couple of days when it did actually rain a little bit, and I thought, that's quite handy that it's sealed off from the rain just enough to keep your gear nice and safe. So that's the grams 28 ones. Links for all of these are down in the description, and check those out. They've got some lovely stuff on there. Finally, I have a bit of a left field entry, which is this. This is a Uniqlo kind of sling bag. This is much bigger than the other ones, and this one gets a lot of use. I use this one all of the time. So this one is kind of like a satchel style with basically just, look at how much you can get in here, it's huge. So that's the full amount, and it's got this kind of drawstring top, so you just pull that in, and then I tend to just tuck it under when I wear it, and then it just sits kind of nice like a satchel like that. I normally tuck these in so that you don't have to obviously have them hanging around. Again, simple strap, basically the same as the one that's on the sling bag that you can adjust, and it's got a loop there, but it's just a single adjustment, no clips or anything to worry about. Super nice. And then inside it's just one simple bit of organization, which is this internal zip pocket. So it's quite wide and it's reasonably big, so you can get quite a lot of stuff in there. And I usually use that for, say, like a phone. But the rest is just basically an open sack. So generally speaking, I don't throw my items in there loose. I will use something like a tech pouch or similar to keep all my gear. But this gives you the option to kind of expand and contract depending on how much stuff you've got. You know, I've used this with putting in a spare like shirt or jumper, and it fits in there. Then when you take it out, it compresses down really small. So this is probably one of the most used ones out of all of them. It's also super cheap and available in a bunch of colors. I believe there's a new one that's got an additional pocket on the side somewhere by the strap that has like a place for a water bottle. Personally, I like this one that's low profile in this nice dark kind of charcoal color, but again, it's available in a bunch of colors. But this one is super nice. So depending on whether you want something that has all of the pockets or none of the pockets, there's probably something there for everyone. Now, I haven't tried anywhere near all of the sling bags, and I haven't tried any of the really popular brands like the Bellroy ones, for instance, which I would like to check out. So let me know down in the comments your thoughts. Which bag do you like and which should I try out next? Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.